All right, boys and girls, I want to keep this nice and simple, but I do really just want to say a massive thank you to all of you. You guys' support over the last year or so has just been freaking amazing. And recently, with some people like Cats and that, you guys, it's just been freaking amazing, and words cannot describe, Stella's ongoing support. Everyone's just been freaking amazing, and I just want to say a massive thank you to all you guys. You have made my life a lot simpler and easier, so I am forever grateful for that. Being said, I'm trying to give something back to you guys, and we're doing a gaming mouse giveaway on my community tab on YouTube. So go check that out. It's a $100 Rocat mouse, so enjoy, and let's get into the video. I love you guys. What I thought we could do is I have put this alert. Let me stream to Discord. See that?
That's okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought we could just go through this, have a little talk, mess around.
So is this PvP tier list or in general, or what type of context?
I think we'd do PvP.
Okay, so PvP tier list. Okay, got it.
And I think we do it for Zero. We'll do Zero CP. But how you been anyway, dudes? How's ESO? I try and catch some of your streams every now and then, but
Yeah, it's good. It's slow right now in between the next patch. It's just everyone's playing the Elden Ring. It's just real slow in the game, but it'll pick back up here in a couple weeks. And the hybrid means you can just have months and months of going through builds, and then then we get the card game. Yay!
all right, what do we got here? Let's start from the top, I guess. Necro's Goliath. Necro's Goliath. Okay, so I'll put it in B tier. It makes you pretty survivable, but you're not gonna wipe groups with it. It's not like, oh, I just, when someone goes into clown form, I call it clown form. I just walk away from them. Like, God bless you, cool. You're gonna live for a little bit. I'll just come back and kill you when you're done. It's always surprises. It's the same with Vamp. The amount of people that go into it and then just do nothing. Like
they go into it and they don't die, but they don't like nuke everybody. It's
yeah, exactly. Like Vamp can make you hit pretty hard too, and most people just don't go offense. Yeah. Like they don't.
Yeah, they just like hit Vamp ult and they just like kind of run around. It's like you need to go Rambo in there when you got Vamp ult up.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the Necro Bash, the AOE.
Pestilence Colossus.
That's the one.
Yeah. Oh, that's S tier. Yeah, it's one of the best ults in the game. Yeah, I mean, I can wipe huge groups with it. It's good for a PvP healer to use, a tank, a DPS. You can literally kill 10 people in one go. It's the #1 most damage producing, high output ultimate in the game.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Or some garbage ones. Oh, don't go corrosive yet.
Well, we're just working down the list of the way that it's set up in here. So
looks nice. Graphics looking good.
All right, next one up is the other Necro ult, the Res ult.
I mean, I gotta be like C tier, doesn't it? I mean, it's like so niche. Like if people wipe in a group, I've seen people pop up 3 people, but beyond that, it doesn't like turn the tide of battle. They're just gonna die again because they got overwhelmed with oils and stuff. You see, that's how I've seen it.
I think it's an underrated ult used by people that don't really know what they're doing. It's definitely niche, but for a small man group, like if you got a Necro running this and you get, screwed over by an unlucky ult dump or something, it basically buys you a second chance. Yeah, it's not that great for players that don't know what they're doing, but if you got a good solid small man, it can be quite good. Like I reckon it's a B+ ult.
Really? Okay. Like way different than that.
So where did you say? C?
I said C. I've never seen it used effectively where it's a game changer. Never.
All right. How are we gonna do this? Let's go in the middle of what we reckon. Okay. So we'll put it in B- then. In cap is up next.
Let's see, in cap. Okay, so you have to factor in the passives for slotting it. You have to factor in it's one of the hardest hitting abilities. It can stun. It gives you a lot of resources thing. It's cheap as hell, yeah. I don't think it's S tier, but I do think it's A tier. It's one of the stronger single target abilities in the game. The reason I wouldn't put it S tier, it's single target. I can't blow up 10 people with it.
in cap in my stream chat's S tier. Of course, in cap would say in cap is a freaking S tier ult.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a single target. It's the one thing I think holds it back.
Yeah. No, I agree. I pretty much agree. I'd say A plus, but yeah. All right, Soul Tether.
I can't stand Solta there. It has that 0.5 second animation, and like when I'm playing and I'm getting dogpiled by 4 or 5 people, I need it to go off and actually work. 9 times out of 10, it does not go off. It's clunky. I die, and then it consumes my ultimate afterwards. I don't get any healing. The actual ability, if it worked properly, would be A tier for me. The truth, though, is when you actually go to use it, I just stopped using it. I just put Temporal Guard on the back bar because I'm like, I'm not surviving anymore because it just doesn't work. And it has that 0.5 second delay. It just bugs the crap out of me. It should be a lot better, but I mean, B, C, I don't know.
Yeah, see, I have the problem with, 300 ping that in cap's even worse for me, so like it's
you ain't gonna get that to work, right? Yeah.
In cap's not Soul Tether's not too bad for me. It's a lot better than in cap, but yeah, you are right. There's so many times where you'll get CC'd as you go into it when you like really need it. I still reckon it's A minus B plus ult.
I mean B, I would put it at B, yeah.
Alright, let's go B plus then in between us. And then, I can't even remember what this ult's called. The other Nightblade ult that no one ever uses.
Veil Blade. So Veil Blades used to be amazing in PvE. When major protection was like incredibly rare. It did tons of damage. There's like 0 use for it in PvP. There's 0 use. It's not mobile.
Yeah.
It's negated. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's just a ground-based AoE, like, it makes it basically impossible to use effectively. So yeah, what, D?
Yeah, I'd put it's one of the worst, yeah.
Next up is Actro, Sork's Actro.
Oh man, this is a tough one, because, I mean, in a duel, it's one of the sweatiest duel. If you put Actro down in a duel, it's tough. It's tough to fight because it lasts forever. It just lights you up. But then again, if you put it open world Cyrodiil, okay, in a 1v1 it's good, but it's not mobile. It has a stun, which is nice, but you already have the streak stun. The synergy is really, really good. I think in Battlegrounds it's pretty good, but like Meteor will just level people and you need that burst. This is kind of like, in comparison to a Negate, which has a lot of group utility, I think that, or Overload, where you could just nuke someone single target, it's kind of down in B tier, or yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, like, my relationship with it's probably a little bit niche because I didn't used to run Streak because 300 ping, it was basically impossible to be able to streak through and turn around and, hit someone. So I used to run this a lot on my back bar for the line of sight's what makes it the strong in and outnumbered fight.
Yeah.
The damage itself is pretty meh. But yeah, what did you say again, sorry?
I'd probably put it in B because, I mean, in certain situations,
I agree. It's
base game. You don't have to do Mage's Guild. You don't have to do Sigil.
Yep.
You don't have to do. That's what's the strength of it is. You get it right away. You start deleting people.
Negate.
I don't think it's not S tier because in a battleground where it's super highly mobile, it's like, okay, you're not really using that. But it's the strongest group utility ultimate in the game, especially Cyrodiil. It's literally the #1 thing that can change the game. Is you have a Negate Sork that knows how to do it, you can turn the tide of keep fights. But again, I don't think there's really a place for it in duels. There's not a place for it in BGs a whole lot unless you're a coordinated group and group comp. IC, the same thing.
It's kind of that ult it's like super amazing when it's super amazing, and then it's just meh when it's not amazing. Yeah. So, what, B? B? In the middle?
Yeah, B.
Can be S, can be D, I guess, is the best way.
Right, it's the same thing as Atro, right? Like in certain situations, a dual Atro is amazing, yeah.
Alright, Overload. One of the most loved and hated ultimates in the game.
I can't stand this. I think it's so cheesy. I think it's like the cheesiest ability in the game. It's so cheesy.
So...
I mean, in terms of like, okay, so it kind of falls into in cap. It's single target, and basically you can one-shot people as a Mag Sork.
Well, there's two ways that you got to look at Overload, really, in my opinion. Overload with Elemental Weapon and Overload without Elemental Weapon.
Well, with the LE weapon, just kind of like in cap with a fully charged heavy attack with someone knows they do. You're a one-shot machine.
Yep.
You're just a lethal weapon. But doesn't have group utility. You can't kill huge groups with it. People can dodge it, so it is avoidable. And you don't have the stealth mechanic. Like, if you streak, turn around, LE weapon, launch an orb, they're dead.
It's a noob killer, basically. That's all it is. Any good player is going to see you go into overload and just dodge roll spam or block. Like,
yeah, I mean, maybe a B? I don't know.
Yeah, nah. Like, yeah. It's super good when you know you can pop someone, but most good players you're not going to kill, and as you said, it's single target. Alright, next up is your baby. Your Templar ults. Crescent Sweep.
A tier. Yeah, because it's super low cost, but unlike in cap, it hits like a hammer. It's AoE and just magic or stamina. Doesn't matter what thing you are. It works. And it's good passives on the front of it. Again, low cost, and it's AoE, so you can kill massive groups with it. I don't think it's S tier per se, but it's a strong A in my opinion.
I think it's A plus just because of where Magpie is at the moment. If Magpie wasn't where it is at the moment, I'd probably say, yeah, A minus. But we can go A. A's good. Nova.
So Nova is the same as Negate. If you have a Harmony Necro, it's great. But every other situation, it's pretty much hot garbage. You have to be super coordinated. I put it in C in PvP, probably. The grab crush is one of the strongest things, but the other things that Nova does for you, it's just like, okay, I'll just move out of it. It's not mobile, it can be negated.
Yeah,
if you time it right, it just flattens a group, literally.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's a bit like, negate, where it's either really, really good or it's really, really bad. Like, there's no kind of middle ground. We're filling up B pretty quick. And then you've got Templar's kill ult.
I mean, it's a new ult. You know, it's not mobile, so it basically just prevents you from dying for 4 seconds, unless you're really good at. So I will put it C or D tier.
Yep, I agree. I 100% agree. It can be like probably a B in a group, maybe, but at the end of the day, it's exactly that. It's, you know, it's just preventing you and your group dying for a few seconds, and that's it. Oh, God. This is one of my fucking ults that I hate for some reason lately, is the Warden's Bear.
I don't know. I've never seen anyone use it effectively in PvP.
It's super annoying. XV1, because it can actually hit pretty damn hard when you're in execute range. Like, it actually
well, in a 1v1, yeah, it's like it can melt you in a 1v1, but you're not running around Cyrodiil with that thing and being effective.
Oh no, like, people do it, and it is annoying, but it's not effective in an even numbered fight or an outnumbered fight. It's only good XV1, so I don't know, it's a C or D tier.
Yeah, C or D, yeah.
Like, to be honest, if it could be single barred, then it would probably be a B tier ult. But the fact that you have to take both of your ult slots up to run it effectively, it's just not good. Warden's Trees.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what you say about this.
I think it's pretty good, actually, because it's base game. It's back barrable. It doesn't require a weapon. It heals like a hammer, and it's low cost. And it has group utility. If you just sound it out, if you say it out loud, it's a hell of a defensive ultimate on the back bar.
I don't know. The heal's, I don't think that great after the nerf. It's still a good heal. It's just not where it used to be at all.
Yeah, it used to be just you kind of spam and you just wouldn't die. But right now, I'd probably put it in a B tier because it has all that group utility, and you don't need. It's not like you require a resto. You don't need a sword and shield, so you can run a 2H back bar, and that's the strength of it.
No, I agree. I agree with B. B's almost full. Rip. Northern Storm or the other morph.
Yeah, that's a good one. They did nerf it pretty big, but major protection's nice, but just it's a massive AoE. Again, it's more a little niche though, where
because I've been running it on my. I used to run it a bit on my Stamden. The damage on it's actually decent. The fact that it moves with you.
Back bar, but everyone needs to move with you. Like, I'd rather just have a Dawnbreaker on my Stand-em front bar, you know, and then maybe Sijic on the back bar. So yeah, talking more about it now, might be a C tier one.
Oh, I have to disagree. I'd put it in the same kind of area as Soul Tether.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, especially on Stamden, the pressure that it gives you is just like really, really strong. So you say C, I say B plus. So let's put it in B minus because
I'll dump it in B, yeah.
All right. Oh god, one of my most hated ults as well. Bow ult.
D tier. Yeah, it's a noob trap. It's the most newbie ultimate in the game. You sit there like a complete noob pickle, and you can't use your abilities, so you're just gonna get nuked by someone that doesn't know how to counter it, and you're dead. When I see someone pop that ult, I hold block and just try to kill him.
Yeah, I reckon it's a C just because it does hit pretty damn hard.
Yeah, go behind a rock or go behind a tree. Okay, you just blew an ult. Now I'm gonna come headhunt for you.
Yeah.
I can't stand that ult.
Yeah, no, I can't either. It's put it in C minus, D plus, or whatever. Let's go D plus. Yeah, no, it's once again, it's kind of effective V1, but that's it. It's like
Yeah, XV1, it's great. You're sitting back on a rock or on top of
Yep.
keep nuking someone. You feel like you're really a big badass or something. But yeah, outside in that, very niche.
man, this next ult makes me sad. Destro ult. I miss Destro ult when it actually was freaking good. I think that was around when you left, eh? They just nerfed it.
I've only
From
seen it
me.
being used effectively on like bomb, ball group, Nightblades. That's it.
Oh yeah, since they nerfed it, its damage on it's just not great.
But like if you get a Nightblade in a ball group that can pop on the back bar and just run in there with a pocket healer, you'll just
Yeah.
devastate people. But yeah, it's too niche. So I mean, C or D really?
I agree. Somewhere here. Dual world ult. Now,
D tier.
this is one that looks good on paper, but in theory is just not great.
D tier. Yep.
Yeah, it's
I've seen
like
one person ever use it effectively.
it can miss. Like it looks good
Yeah,
on
not a fan.
paper. Sword and board ult.
Oh boy, A probably tier. Well, maybe not. I mean, it requires you to use a sword and shield, so there's a downside. But man, you can clutch on this and reflex, low cost, but there is zero group utility with it, so it's very selfish. But for a solo player, it's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's an A. Because, like, yeah, it's a defense, but if you're fighting outnumbered, it is also an offense because you're gonna have range.
You're rambling,
and,
yeah.
You know, if you've got a bad mag sork on you and you pop this, you can just turn around and nuke them because they're gonna basically kill themselves. So I definitely an A tier. I'd even go for solo A plus.
Yeah, it's up
A is
there.
good. Resto ult.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier. S tier.
Interesting.
By far. Yep. But my favorite defensive ult in the game, group utility. You're going to be nearly invincible. You can fully charge and get a major mending and just carry you and your group survivability with a very low cost ability. I my favorite defensive ultimate for the average player. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I'd probably go A plus, but I won't disagree with S. Two-hander ult. Berserk.
God, that's just a goofy one. I mean, I've seen some people use it effectively, but it's like, well, I'd rather have an in-cap Donnie or, maybe it's like a tank killer or a healer killer.
It was meta a while ago, and then they kind of nerfed it. So it's... I can't see a situation where I'd take it over like a DB or a class ult. So probably, I'd even want to say C minus, D plus.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't see really anyone using it.
Nope. DB. DB.
Oh, that's a staple. It's not S tier, but I would say A. Yeah, I would say A. It works on magic. It works on stamina. It has great damage, burst. Passives are good for slotting it. Group utility. Yeah, I love it.
I'd say S tier if it didn't miss so much.
Okay.
But yeah, no, A tier I think's good. It's more my shitty Aussie internet. It's like I'll line it up, but by the time I've actually hit it, they've moved. Just haven't on my screen. Aussie life barrier.
Oh, barrier. I think that's a niche one, like in the B or C tier range, because it's like a ball group thing. But if there's no application solo, you hit it like barrier solo, like, all right, cute. And it just prevents you from dying for 5 seconds. However, in like big ball groups, you're just rotating barriers, you're charging and ramboing, and prevents you from dying. But I don't think it's applicable for every little player,
It's, I think the cost is at the end of the day what murders it, because it's super fucking expensive for memory.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the dearest ults in the game, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
I think it's one of the dearest ults in the game from memory.
Dearest ults? What do you mean?
Dearest, like most expensive, like ultimate.
Oh,
The
most
cost.
costly?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it is. I might be
250
misremembering.
or plus them, yeah.
Yeah, so C, D.
I put it in C, yeah. It has some utility and it's helpful in some situations.
I just realized that we're missing War. Warhorn.
Warhorn and
Oh.
PvP?
Yeah, I don't have it on this.
It's the same thing as Barrier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying D. Yeah, maybe even D tier because Major Force isn't as nearly as valuable. It does pump up your stats, but I mean, it's for like super coordinated sweaty groups or something that's trying to Rambo in. Other than that, it's just, yeah, it's a PvE thing.
I'm just gonna put a W in here because I forgot to put a logo. I will add that in later. Oh shit. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. I'll fix it up. Alright, where were we? Solar Salt.
F tier. It's the same thing as the bug. Such a noob trap.
It's just shit.
It's
shit.
crap. It's a noob trap. Yep.
Yeah, it's like at least the bow ult does a little bit more damage and has the dot at the end that you can't really avoid. Where that's just, oh man, this is actually probably my most hated ult in the game. Werewolf.
Which one? The White Wolf?
Fundamentally, either.
It's pretty good. It simplifies your build, hits really hard. It's good and doesn't have a whole lot of group utility, but they're tough to kill.
For me, I just want Zos to make their mind up. Is it an ultimate or is it a subclass? Because the fact that people can basically perma stay in werewolf shits me to high hell. Not much you can do about it. Like, if you can kill a werewolf in a 1vx, they're very, very bad werewolf. So, I reckon B+. Do you say?
Yeah, probably A.
A? Alright, let's go A-.
Yeah, because it simplifies your build, makes you super tanky. There's a lot of pros to it.
Alright, what do we got next? Vamp ult.
I think it's terrible. I think in comparison to Devouring Swarm, old school Vamp ult, can't stand it. I can't stand it. It doesn't do much for you. It's not instance. It's kind of... I've seen people crutch on it and do really well, but every time I use it, I'm disappointed. I do not care for it.
Yeah, I've tried to kind of work it in, but it's just too expensive for what it gives you. And compared to werewolf, it's just not great. C. Yeah, I reckon B-, C+. Yeah. Let's go C. It's like, I don't know, the amount of people I see use it, go into it, and don't go offense just blows my mind. Like, how can you just sit there and do nothing and waste your ultimate? Like, Meteor, this will be interesting. We'll see if
I think it's one of the stronger. I think it's one of the stronger ults. Yeah, it passes for slotting. It works on magic. It works on stam. One of the best burst ones. It's AOE. It's single target. It's not too hard. It's not too low a cast. It has a delay, so you can set up the stun. One of my favorite ultimates. Yeah, offensive.
Yeah, I thought you. I kind of disagree. I think it's garbage, but
I love it. I've bombed like 4 or 5 people at a time, constantly with it. When on a stam sork, especially max sork, same thing.
I don't know. It's a bit of a noob killer, really, because like just.
Well, you can't block it if you have a. You can streak them. You can set a fossilized. You can set them up.
I think, yeah, like. It's probably better than what I think. It's useless against me, kind of thing. People that use meteors against me, it's like... But yeah, I suppose in a talented player's hands, it's actually going to back it up with a CC. I don't know. So what do you think?
I think it's A tier.
Alright, let's go A-. I think it's fair, because I'd put it B. Alright, my baby's ults. DK's Leap.
Leap I put in A tier probably.
Yep.
It's low cost, hits one of the hardest abilities in the game. It's one of the coolest. Group utility, yeah, good. Both morphs are really useful. There's not a whole lot of passes for slotting it, and sometimes the knockback can be actually counterproductive. But other than that, it's one of the strongest burst ults in the game.
It's just great. It's a gap closer. It's reasonably cheap. It's offense and defense ult in the same. Like, it's...
Yeah, ferocious Leap now.
Unless you're an IC, and then it sucks balls.
It doesn't suck, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, DK Standard.
Which morph?
We're just talking in general, so both either
If
one.
you're talking about you're talking about shifting standard. It's one of the best in the game.
See,
if it's group utility, though. So yeah,
yeah, I don't think it's that great, but that's my
I think it's great in duels. I think it's great in open world. But you have to run the question: would I run it over the other two more? The other two,
yeah,
which I don't run it under the other two unless I have a harmony or harmony necro or someone coordinated. Then I don't run it.
So what, B plus?
Yeah.
And then corrosive.
S tier +4.
Okay.
Best, one of the best, if not the best, overall ultimate in the entirety of Elder Scrolls Online PvP.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's
you don't have to have any penetration when you run it. You're almost invincible. You have Earth and Heart passes. You do damage. I love it.
Yeah.
My favorite alt.
Yeah, it's good. I have found it a bit.
Well, what do you not like about it?
1vx, it's a bit rough. Like, you're not actually that tanky because of the way the damage is capped. So if you're like got 5 or 6 people on you and a couple of dot builds, you're still gonna take a fuck ton of damage because it's capped to per hit, not total incoming damage. So,
I don't know, man. I can tank an army with it, and with the way the healing is going to be with the DK and the going forward.
It's definitely I'd definitely push it in A plus, but we'll go S tier. And then that's it. I feel like we're missing an alt, but Warhammer, Warhorn, I've got that. No, we're missing that. Is there another one we're missing? I don't think so. Is there, chat? Yeah, no, I can't think of any that we're missing. GG. Besides Warhorn, I'll fix that up after. And you said D. I think I agree with D.
Yeah.
Sidgic.
Posting this somewhere, or what are you doing?
I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll see. But yeah, we are missing Sidgic. I knew there was another one. I know the video cuts off pretty harshly there, but we rabble and jibble for ages, and the video is already basically half an hour long, so I thought I'd cut it there. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and just a reminder that we do have merch at the moment too, so if you want to get yourself a Get Zos t-shirt or a mug or something, feel free to check it out. I'll have it linked in the description. Alright, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.